Good morning, Yamhill County. You are tuned right here to KLYC, 1260 AM. This is To the Root of It, your weekly gardening show. I'm Kyle Hunter. Ray.
And I'm Ray Van Blarcom, and we're welcoming you this morning. I know it's the holiday season. It's almost Christmas. We're going to do a little book review this morning.
Isn't that a good topic to do? It's really
Yep.
great because it is sometimes hard to find topics in the winter. But book reading is a very good thing to do.
Today is the shortest day of the year.
Are we there already?
Yep, at 9:11 this morning, it will be winter.
Wow! So the days
True.
are only going to get longer now.
Right.
Which I've been looking forward
yeah.
to. Really, I do need to get these days going a little
But
bit.
we got
faster.
a lot of dark and dreary to get through.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Have you noticed that during the night, when night hits here, it hits. It's just dark, and suddenly at 5 o'clock, it feels like midnight already.
Oh, yeah. 6:30 is dark.
Right. It's incredible because especially when the fog rolls in, it gets quiet, and it's just like no other place that I've been. When it gets so dark.
I had to make a quick trip to the airport this morning, and there was no fog. I was so blessed. I was plumb tickled.
And no freezing.
No
freezing.
No,
snow.
no freezing. Nothing. It was 43 degrees clear to town and back.
Because we had school delays this week on Friday. Here in the area, and that's because it rained Thursday night and it got below freezing, so they were concerned with the frost and the freezing on the road, so they delayed schools.
Yeah, Thursday morning it really was icy after a little sprinkle.
And that's the thing is I don't know why they picked that day because of all of the days in the past 2 weeks that has been bad. I can probably remember 3 worse mornings that I would have rather not been on the road, but was forced to.
Yeah, my poor Harry, 4-legged weather station, goes running out the end of the driveway. And her hind legs go out from underneath
Oh
her. She just stops dead and goes, "Hey, wait a minute. I just want to go to the can. I don't want to roll there.
I don't want to slide there.
Yeah,
I'm not
what's
a winter
this stuff?
sport dog."
This is ick."
Yeah, but I woke up this morning, got out the door, and it's beautiful.
It's going to be a
actually
gorgeous day. A little bit of sprinkle maybe later, but I was just checking Christmas Day, the day after, and the day after that. It's supposed to be bright and sunny and 40 degrees, and you don't get any better than that in the middle of winter.
I know, and what's really great about it is because I am still needing to spray my grass, and really I'm putting it. It's not that because it's growing right now and it's about to go to seed. At any second, I can just see that it's going to go popping out or something like that, and I just want it. Just to nip it in the bud right now.
Oh, you might be just a little bit behind the 8 ball on that one.
I'm way behind. Absolutely. That's why I'm just asking for just
like 2 frickin' months.
Right, exactly. And I can see it growing right now. It's getting really tall and really thick, and at any moment it's just gonna get even. It's just gonna grow even more. So I'm hoping for at least a dry morning, a dry afternoon sometime, and I will chance it, and I will spray it really fast. I will get it down, and then it'll rain, but it'll have some effect. I'm pretty sure it'll have some effect.
Christmas Day and the joy of the holiday season. You're going to be out there with your Roundup.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, go kill.
Just spraying.
Yeah, just spraying and singing Christmas carols.
But when we talk about the grass, there are only a few times of the year that you can really get it at the best time, and it's really right before it goes to seed, right when everything is up there growing and exposed. You just go ahead and you just burn it with the chemicals.
Yeah, it says right on the label that if you want the magic 24 tip over and die thing, then it's got to be over 60 degrees, so the plant's actually
working,
respirate.
Right, exactly, working,
and doing its plant stuff.
Right, that's why I just need 58 degrees exactly. It's just something a little warm like that, and just go at it. And that won't happen here for I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. But anyway, this morning we have a selection of reading material that you can peruse during the dark and dreary days. Most of these, well, the ones on this side, these 4, came from the city library.
The city library, which is interesting because for me, when I'm looking for books, it's just easier for me to just go out and buy it, and then it's there I can put it down. But with the city library, you've got to you can look at them there, and then you can check them out. But then you've got to return them, and some of those pictures are really nice.
Yeah, you got to return the pictures too. Yeah, you got. It's morally responsible to return all the book,
right?
Not
exactly.
just the covers.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
Over at the extension office, so the Master Gardeners have a fabulous library, a reference library that is not accessible to the general public.
No,
it's only accessible to Master Gardeners.
It's for the Master Gardeners. It's where we get our information from, because we have it's a large collection, and it's got a lot of information. But if we have a question from a client or a citizen or something, we go ahead and we look in there, and we have a lot of information. And most of the books that you're looking at, though, they have pretty much a lot of the same information. So when you're looking for that book, you're more than likely wanting to find that specific thing that you're looking for. So if you're looking for an interest in houseplants, you're not going to want to find the generalized book. You want to find a book that's specific to houseplants. If you're looking for perennials, you want to find a book that's specific to perennials, and that's what's great about the library that we have, is that we have so many specific books.
I was surprised. There's books for just azaleas and books for just begonias.
Exactly.
And books for just, there's a whole rack of them. Most of the reference books we have in the Master Gardener Library are exactly that. They're reference books to tell you how, what, why, when, what's wrong. Like this one here, what's wrong with my plant?
Oh, and how do I fix it?
And how do I fix it? That's a cool book, because it has nice pictures and everything. I like pictures. I'm good with pictures.
Yeah, I know, and the reason I like this book, I've actually bought it for people, because it's mostly what you want to know. Is for the general gardener, for the general houseplant person. You're actually just looking for every answer, and this book, it pretty much has it all in the cameras over there. And for those of you that want to catch us streaming live, we're actually displaying the books as we speak at KLYC.us, and you can get a live video feed for this. We're also, if you go ahead and search the YouTube, we upload the shows immediately afterwards, so you can catch the replays also. But Ray has to prominently display those books in front of the camera so that we can, yeah. So we've got What's Wrong with My Plant and How Do I Fix It? And like I was saying, I give this book out because it has so much information. Why the general question is, why is my plant wilting? Why is my plant brown? Why is it all of this? And it's just it's answered.
And how do I fix it?
And how do I fix it?
The cool thing about this book is it's actually kind of it's a step-by-step thing. It's if this, then that.
Right.
If not this, then the little arrow points down to the next question you should ask yourself while you're staring at your plant that's dying.
Right. Perfect flow chart.
Yeah.
And it works well because it's kind of like when you're trying to identify a plant. You say, is it green? Is it this? Is it that? And this is the kind of thing that does too. So you can get down to the root of it.
Well.
Did you just catch that?
Yeah. Hello. Good morning, Ray. Are you part of the planet this morning? Oh, yes, I am. I'm
clever choice of words.
Yes,
thank you.
It'll start out with major topics. Like we'll just look at this one. The stem has lumps or foreign growths, or you see pests. Okay, that's your symptoms. Yeah, that's your symptoms.
Like a gopher?
Yeah, well, it could be. Or
white flies.
White flies, little green aphids, little black aphids.
Mm-hmm.
Ants running up and down your tree is generally a sign that they got an aphid farm going on.
Right, and so the first question is are there any pests on there? If pests, then what do the pests look like?
Right. All right. And here's one that says, no slimy orange horns are produced in wet weather.
That's pretty specific.
That's a pretty specific. You got to know why you're thinking it'd be growing orange horns. Anyway, but it says are swollen blister-like areas that produce powdery black spores absent. And if the answer is yes, then you go to the next question, and it's, do you see black cylindrical growths on the stem? And you work your way through the thing. But if the answer would be no, then you get another question.
Right.
And you can work through it like in a page and a half. You can work through the problem with your plant. It's really very interesting.
But it's, for me, it's like I said, it's the book that I give people who want to honestly know about their plants and how to fix them.
I like the one over at the Master Gardener office, though, that it's a fairly thick book, and the pictures are very large. I wanted to bring it, but they wouldn't let me out the door with it.
Which is good.
Not
we are not a lending library.
No.
I have to put that in the newsletter every month. Just a little disclaimer: we have all of these great books, but do not take them.
Yes, leave them.
Right.
But here's another one. Now I like simple gardening.
Oh, yeah. The least
Really.
that you have to do, the better.
The least I have to do, the more color I get for the least amount of work makes me really happy.
Right.
And then I want a garden that will kind of take care of itself with just the assistance of my neighbor lady when I'm out of town.
Right. So that she doesn't have to take on your burden.
Exactly. She doesn't have to go over and do anything to it other than just turn a faucet.
Right.
And that really worked well last year.
Well, that's really good.
Except for them dagnab zinnias. Oh, man, I never saw them coming.
I never saw them with the explosion.
Oh, they were like 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
I thought they were supposed to be like 18-inch zinnias, so like a little color spot in amongst things. No, they were semi-tree.
Which is great.
Yeah.
If you were looking for that.
If you
weren't.
Oh, yeah. Whoever thought of picking long stem zinnias?
Right.
You know.
But one of the complaints about the books that I was learning is the pictures can sometimes be a little bit too small. Because one of the problems that I also have, and I brought a couple of landscaping books from Sunset. Sunset, a great source for not just a magazine, but for pictures. And you're looking for, and you're showing a picture right now of, what are those? Those are
these are alliums.
Alliums. I knew it. I was going to say azaleas, but alliums was coming out of them. Right. So you've got a picture of those, and it's taken up half the page. But for me, those are great to see, but how do they work in the full landscape? Because you're just looking at a close-up of that, and for me, I need to see them interact with the whole garden, and that's one of the biggest complaints that I have with a lot of these books is that you don't
watch what happens when you turn the page.
Oh, don't do this! Don't do this!
Yeah, it shows you how they interact with the rest of the garden.
Oh well, they can't see it though.
Oh, okay, that's right. I got to hold it up. Yeah, but it's. It gives you
hold it up long enough too.
Yeah. It gives you a good perspective on what your garden's going to look like if you add those.
Yeah, and but again, those pictures were kind of small for the whole garden, because if I bust out, right, don't make me get the Sunset edition. No. I will do this.
Okay, you got the Sunset edition,
right? And again, Sunset. What do you think about the magazine? As a source for gardening, right?
Not only for the gardening and the travel, but also for the recipes in it.
See, like I can hold up a picture of this and how it interacts with it. Can you describe this picture in a delicate manner?
Well, it looks like a sea of petunias and mixed. I can't really see what the yellow ones are, but. It's a sea of mixed colors in a neat garden setting.
In a backyard garden.
In a backyard setting where you have a tennis table court.
Right, a table tennis court right in front of all of these things. But you can see how each plant is interacting with the fence and
now you show it to the folks at home.
Oh, we're showing it, and then you got you've got the nice picture over here where you've got the backyard shot, and you can see just trees just falling all over the place. And for me, those are the kind of pictures I like. The close-ups of the nice each individual plants. But for right now, where I am in gardening, I need to see everything. I need to see the whole picture.
You need to see the big picture.
Right, exactly, and that's why, like I said, this Western landscaping from Sunset, it's on my coffee table right now, and every once in a while I can just look at it and peruse through it.
I have a copy of that. I've used it numerous times in numerous houses to get different looks or do different things in the gardening as far as colors and plant arrangements and sizes and structure of things. And that does give excellent combinations. If you have any questions about any of these books or any gardening questions, give us a call at 503-435-1260.
Yeah, that's and we'll get to you as soon as we can. Because,
yeah, we got to take a little break.
We're going to take a break right now and pay some bills. But right now you are listening to 1260 AM KLYC, Yamhill County.
AM 1260 KLYC, and we want to thank Recology Northwest Greenlands for helping bring To the Root of It back to you here on AM 1260 KLYC. And with us right now is site lead Nick Olheiser. In fact, we're standing in the yard at Recology Northwest Greenlands. Nick, thank you for sponsoring the show.
Thank you, and it's great to be here today.
Let's talk about the redistribution, reallocation in the company. There's been a little bit of changing of names and so on and so forth. Explain what's going on.
Yeah, we were actually bought out a few years ago by a company named Recology out of San Francisco. Essentially what's going on out here, there's just been a restructuring within the company. We are now more part of an organics division, which is allowing us to kind of centralize and hone in on the composting part of it, the phase that we want to be in. It kind of allows us to just share and reincorporate our knowledge within that and really build off of that.
So if you're driving by WOW over here by the fairgrounds, by the Shell gas station, and you're looking for compost, and they're looking to supply compost needs for large and small producers. So even if you're the small home gardener and you just want a bucket or two, you can come down and get that.
Yes, absolutely. We're located over here on Orchard Avenue. You pull in, we have anything from rock to bark dust to soil blends to just straight compost.
Tell me what's unique in what you offer here to the public.
What really sets us apart is the in-depth retail yard that we have. We have multiple products that a lot of other places aren't able to provide. One of our more popular features is the green waste pile. You can bring in any kind of yard debris, grass trimmings, branches, anything like that, and recycle it here. And then from there it's reincorporated into the process, and in a couple months it comes out as compost.
What are your hours, and when can people come by and pick up some compost?
Our hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, Saturday, 9 to 4. Anytime in those hours, come on by. We got a friendly staff, always on hand, ready to help out and answer any questions in any way they can and get you any kind of needs you have.
What are your price ranges?
Price ranges for compost, pretty much all of our products, anywhere from $20 to $30 a yard. We do half-yard increments. Soil blends, same thing. We also have custom blend services that we do. There's something that on site that you don't see or that you can't find that you want. We're able to blend it up for you right there and get you exactly what you need.
Do you have Facebook, a website, and a phone number?
We don't have a Facebook currently right now. We are working on that. Our website is Recology, or is OregonCompost.com. Sorry, just OregonCompost.com. And phone number is going to be 503-434-1671.
Recology Northwest Greenlands. We're talking here to Nick Olheiser, and they're bringing To the Root of It here on AM 1260 KLYC.
And we're back. We're back. Yes, this is To the Root of It with Ray and Kyle. We really want to thank Nick and the people over there at Recology Northwest for sponsoring this program.
It's a great source for gardeners here in McMinnville and in Yamhill County in general.
We are so lucky to have them over there just to get rid of your debris for free.
Right.
Is amazing. There's lots of cities that they charge big bucks just to pick up the lawn waste.
And speaking of getting rid of debris, I had that benefit. I actually enlisted my brother's assistance because I told you a few weeks ago I was getting a leaf blower.
Uh-huh.
And I'm still trying to determine if it's faster to use a rake, but it's a heck of a lot more fun to use the leaf blower.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I went ahead and had him blow up our big tall trees, the leaf mass that was underneath there, and it would fit in a small trailer, the amount of leaves just from these trees. But what I went ahead and did was I had him blow it and dump a lot of it in the chicken coop area because it's been getting a little muddy there because of the rain. And so now...
Did you chop it first?
No, I did not chop it. I know, I absolutely.
Okay,
I know.
well,
That'll be
maybe
next year.
time.
Next year, absolutely.
Yeah. It's a learning process.
Yeah, but it should break down because they got the chickens scratching at it all of the time. But it was one of the benefits of having a chicken coop and having it, the compost pile right there. It's just breaking it all down. Otherwise, I'd have to deal with this mass of leaves if I lived in the city area.
I learned a valuable lesson when the wife and I got together, and she had 3 red maples on her property, and it's really helpful to make sure you try to get a dry day or even a frosty day where the leaves aren't sticking together too much. The leaf blower thing works a lot better on a dry day.
No, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, wet, sloppy leaves, they just go splat and stick on the side of the car.
Well, that's why I got the professional level leaf blower, because even if it's a little wet out there, this thing will still... It still blows them.
You got 200-mile-an-hour blower.
It's right on my backpack. I mean, right on my back, and it's boom.
Awesome. Star Wars.
It could very
the
well be.
Jetpack.
I do not scare my baby with it. I can blow at him, and he's like, "Whoo!" I do that to my daughter. So yeah. So the options are going to be endless with this thing too.
With our dog, she likes to chase the leaves, and so the further you can blow them, the faster you can blow them, the more entertaining it is for the ditzy dog.
Nice.
She chases them down, tries to bite them. But anyway, back to books.
Should we get back to books now? Because we've got a few left in here. Succession Planting for Year-Round Pleasure. That sounds exciting.
This one is a really cool book. And this title is Succession Planting, and the theory behind it is to have something blooming every month. So you have total year-round color.
Wow.
It can be done. There are things that bloom in January, February, March that are still blooming in November and December. My pansies have revived from the winter freeze we had a couple of weeks ago.
Nothing was decimated by that?
No, as soon as it got back up over 40 degrees, they just put their leaves back up and they're raised their little flowers and they're all just fine.
I lost my cactus, my loving cactus that I've been nurturing and taking care of since I moved here from Arizona.
Oh no!
And I left it out, and during that frost, during that freeze, I figured, I've seen cacti of its nature in Flagstaff where it has a few freezing days or something like that, and but no, this one it's mush. A cactus turns to complete mush.
Yeah,
so I've got this 5-foot tall mass of mush that I'm hoping maybe it comes back to life or something like that, but more than likely dead.
Well, this one it also has pictures of what you're like if you have a border planting and you want it to bloom year-round.
Maybe you should explain border planting real quick.
Border planting is where it's along the edge of, here on the back, an edge of a driveway or a sidewalk or one full side of a yard or something of that nature.
So maybe so right next to the sidewalk or along the house is also border, right?
And those can also be borders, but it's set up so that for its particular area, if it's bright sun-loving plants that will bloom each month of the year, and it also has a section for shade plants that bloom year-round. And there are plants that bloom year-round on the shady side of the house.
Here in Oregon.
Wow. Heliobores and things will bloom right up until first frost. Actually, my heliobores are starting to sprout again. Cyclamens are another one that they don't care.
No.
They'll bloom in the snow.
Yeah.
They have their little pink flowers sticking up out of the snow, and they're just happy as clams.
Happy? I don't know if they're so happy.
And then the snow melts and the leaves come out, and you got the green and white spotted leaves, and it goes through that cycle all winter long. Just, absolutely natural.
One of the benefits of being in the Northwest.
Yep. But here's a a picture of a really gorgeous border.
Wow, so it's a really colorful. It looks like there's a bunch of poppies in there.
There's
some
poppies
dandelions,
and glads, and this is
irises.
Actually it starts in mid-spring and goes right on through till well after July, when the next batch of things comes into play.
Oh, I see some alliums in there.
This is July, August, and September.
I see.
So it goes through the entire, that gets you 7 months of the year right there.
In the same space.
In the same space.
Wow.
Yeah, and it changes that way until you get into fall, and now this is this is fall, and this will bloom, so and this is the same space.
And that's what am I looking at here? I'm still seeing some.
Oh,
I'm seeing more grass. The grass is more prevalent towards the end of the growing season.
No, this is salvias and things.
Yes.
And then you get in. Oops.
Yep. Don't go too far.
Don't go too far. Yeah. But anyway, that's the theory behind this book, is how to go ahead, and it gives good lists of what grow in each spring, summer, fall, winter.
And it's written by Christopher Lloyd. I'm assuming that's not the actor.
No.
Or the producer.
Definitely. No. And the photographs are excellent. They're Jonathan Buckley photographs.
Which is one of the important things when we talk about these books. It really is important to have those photographs that are really great. And I don't think you could have a successful gardening book that didn't have really nice, vivid pictures.
Well, when you're selecting a garden book, you kind of got to be careful, because there's a lot of crud out there too. There's thousands of people just writing books just for the heck of it. Just
filler.
Yeah, because
they sell, and that's one of the things. This is one of those markets, the garden book market, where you have a lot of business, because you've got the gardener who is wanting to, by his nature or her nature, to seek out knowledge and want to learn a lot of things. So they're more likely to do these impulse buys where they're going out and buying these books. So you go ahead and you can just throw them out there, and so a gardener will just flip through it, see the pictures, like, oh, that's really pretty, and
I want to do this,
right, and maybe not get as much information because they're just throwing them out there. So it is really important, and maybe to speak to the point where you have the Barnes and Nobles or the Amazons, where you can actually get the reviews beforehand, where maybe 20 years ago you didn't have that as a great resource. But that's one of the important things when you're wanting to look for a book. You go ahead and you find the reviews, because there's a difference between the 5 stars and the 1-star book, according to a lot of these reviews.
And to go with a basic proven product is also good. These right here are
the sunsets.
The sunsets are like basic gardening Bibles.
Right.
Everybody ought to have, the basic garden book, the Western landscaping, and just to have around the house, because they have so much information in them, how to garden, how to deal with
each plant. The one that we're looking at right now, the new Sunset Western Garden Book, it's actually subtitled "The Ultimate Gardening Guide." So right there, you know that you're getting all of the information.
Oh, that starts with the dirt and works up.
But again, the Western Garden Book, and inside of it, it's got basically every plant that grows here in the Western United States.
Yeah.
And very detailed, shows pictures, botanical drawings of the plants, what family, and it just has everything that you're looking for, sometimes to a fault, to go through it and find all of these plant information, this genus, the subgenus, but it's all there, and so
like I can remember that.
Right, exactly. I have a hard enough time remembering the plants.
I'm going to stick with like dandelion.
I can do that dandelionus. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But that book right there, the Sunset Western Garden Book, I see it on sale every spring. It's the one that's on the end cap right before
Yeah.
you get to the register, because it really is. It's
Just before I
considered one
get
of
to the
Bible-
Hershey bars.
Right. Any impulse buy you're looking for, right here, and it's $20. I think that's what I picked it up. It's always on sale in the spring too.
But they're good permanent information, and you really don't need to replace it unless you destroy it
Right.
or the dog eats it.
Right. I'm trying to destroy these books as best I can because I leave them out on the coffee table and with a little child who likes to just pull and spit up on everything. They're faring pretty well. They've got really nice glossy protective covers.
Sanitary covers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Moving right along. This book right here. This is sustainable gardening. This,
this is our master gardener.
This is the master gardener.
Let's pull it
Bible.
out here so that we can get it out there. And what I'm looking at is one of the binders, and it's not one of those small binders. It's one of those extended binders, and that has, gosh, everything. It's what you get when you join the Master Gardeners program, which we have classes that are finalizing January.
I think there's room for about maybe 4 or 5 more people, and then the room is full.
Right, and
So if you really are, if you're thinking about doing it and you haven't done it yet, I'd trot down there Monday morning and
right down on Lafayette Avenue in McMinnville, and because classes are starting soon,
January 9th.
And once you pay the fee, you get this book, and you can start reading it immediately. And I call it a book because I don't know. It's all printed out pages. It's all in the binder, but it is subsectioned into basically each class that's going to be taught. And the information that's in there is educational information. It's just like you would find in any educational resource.
Well, this starts out as a basic. It what you're going to do to the root of it. It starts with dirt and basic gardening practices, and to provide the best area for your plants from the ground up, and then it gets into integrated pest management, how to control pests in your garden without destroying the beneficial insects, the pollinators, or your dog or your cat. That's bad.
Right, because we talk about using Roundup and chemicals just because that's what we do. However, we try as master gardeners to make that the last resort.
And how to do it safely.
And safely, right, and if you are going to use it, but not necessarily jump right to them in all cases for all instances.
Yeah, first kill is not necessarily always a good idea. Go right for the headshot. Take out Kitty on the way.
Right, so we have a few hours of class dedicated to how to take care of that, and then plus we've got this resource in the book too.
Yeah, it's I still refer to it. It also has an excellent section on chemicals,
right.
And the proper use of chemicals, fertilizers, how to measure the amount of nitrogen that you're putting on any given area, how to figure out what that area is, just basic math, and how to apply them to your yard, your flower garden, so you don't end up wasting a lot of money on extra fertilizer that isn't going to be used, is just going to be run off.
Yeah, there's a section on pruning in there also, which was something that I guess went on yesterday. We had a little class on winter pruning, and this is the time for doing that. So if you're interested in doing some pruning, you might want to go ahead and go grab a book on that because we're there, right?
Yep, it's coming up. And this is the time when the leaves are gone, and you can see that any damaged leaves or damaged twigs, branches. We've had the good frost, so everything's pretty much fallen off.
Right.
You can go ahead and trim up for structure or to improve the overall blooming look next year. Now's the time to start taking stuff off. But it tells you, how to prune things, whether you go down to the base of the stem because it's a cane plant, and it gives you the definitions of the styles of plants and how to prune them.
Yeah, I've got a book here all about pruning, and it's from Ortho Books, a subsidiary of Chevron.
Yeah.
But it's the latest pruning techniques and tools for formal and informal gardening. It's a small little, looks like about a 100-page little book, but it's got so much information on how to prune any of these small ficus trees all the way up to those big tall evergreens. And it's a book that I think it was a nominal fee. It was like $6 or something like that, which is, again, it makes them so much easier as impulse buys when they make these books with these glossy photos and the subject that I'm interested in, and just priced right enough for me to just not even second guess it. Just, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe you can grow to regret those purchases. But not in this case.
No, that's a good permanent reference.
Right, exactly. And we do have the internet as a reference too. But sometimes it, as oddly as it might sound, it might be a little bit harder to find that information. And it's not as as glanceable as just picking up a book. Just picking up the book and looking at it and perusing through it. You don't really peruse through the internet.
This one is one that's at the library, and it just cracked me up, so I took it home and actually read it.
Oh, my gosh. And I actually read it like you don't read the other books.
No, actually, I read through all 3 of these, or 4 of these. But this one is, it just cracked me up. It's just how not to kill your houseplants.
Yes, and it's by Anne Pregossin, and it says that it's a foolproof guide, right?
Yep, it's a foolproof guide on how not, and it is a list of don'ts.
Don'ts.
Yeah.
So unlike mine, what's wrong with my plant and how do I fix it? This is basically a guide on don't do this.
Just plain don't frickin' do this. ever type stuff.
Right.
And the flip side would then be the fact that you really are letting the plant just go ahead and grow.
Right, do its thing.
Do its thing without too much human intervention.
Right, because we can help the plants along as best we can, but they've actually been evolved into being able to take care of themselves.
They've been growing just fine for 6 million years.
Sometimes I do have a hard time explaining that to people, that the world did exist before people did, and we didn't solve all of the problems.
There was a world before Roundup.
Right, exactly.
And it seemed to get along just fine.
Yeah, plants got rid of themselves also.
Yeah.
But how not to kill your houseplants? Was there anything that piqued your interest specifically out of that? Because actually, I see that you automatically went to the table of contents, and that's one of the big things that you can do when you're looking for a book, is look right at the table of contents.
Make sure that it has the information that you're actually looking for.
Right. Yep. So, and you have to make sure that it has the information that you're looking for, and maybe it'll have something in there that you didn't think of and of interest. But if you see a litany of things that you already have a book for, there might not be any need to look at it.
The very first chapter in this book is how not to go looking for disaster and pay good money for the experience, or where not to buy your plants,
which are good things, and we'll get into that. We're going to jump into a break.
Take a little break
right
first.
Now. You're listening to 1260 AM KLYC, Yamhill County. To the Root of It, your weekly garden show.
AM 1260 KLYC, and To the Root of It, sponsored once again by Recology Northwest Greenlands. We're sitting here, in fact, we're standing in the yard right now talking to Nick Olheiser. Nick, tell us about what sets your yard apart from others if they're out looking for compost.
Wide range of products available to the public. We have anything from rock to bark to all kind of soil blends to straight compost. We offer services such as the concrete mixers. We also have a blow-in service where the truck will come out and blow the bark in or compost for you right there. And when we leave, it's like we were never there except the product's there.
Now they're right across here, just down from the fairgrounds, right across from the Shell station, right next door to WOW. So if you're bringing your old TV sets and so on and so forth in to get rid of them, old computers and such, we're just to the west of that.
Correct. We're located over here on Orchard Avenue, 2200 Orchard Avenue. When you pull in, you'll see the signs. You'll see the big green bunker tarps, keeping your soil dry and ready for you all winter.
What are your hours and phone number?
Hours are going to be 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. On Saturday, it's 9 to 4. Phone number is 503-434-1671.
All righty. Anything else you want to tell the folks?
We got a friendly staff here ready to answer and help you guys out with any kind of needs you have as far as landscaping and garden goes. Come on down, come say hi to us, and we'll help you out from there.
So if you're listening to tips that the guys are talking about on To the Root of It, and you need some composting, maybe you just need a little bit, maybe you need a lot, come on down and check them out. Again, the address?
2200 Northeast Orchard Avenue.
And the phone number?
503-434-1671.
Nick Olheiser talking to us. We're here at Recology Northwest Greenlands, and they bring To the Root of It back on KLYC AM 1260. Now back to the show. If you're involved in a vehicle crash, you need to take your car or light truck to a repair center that will fix it right the first time. The philosophy of J&W CarStar Collision Repair Center in McMinnville is relax. We'll take it from here. Roger Fowler stands by his crew's reputation. J&W CarStar Collision Repair Center, 1100 Northeast Lafayette in McMinnville. There are times you simply need a friend, someone who will stop and listen to your needs. Macy & Son have a heritage of helping Yamhill County residents in their hour of need. Macy & Son have been serving families here since 1903, 5 generations of their family taking care of yours. Macy & Son, in the business of helping people and meeting the individual needs of McMinnville area families, and will continue to do so in the future. At the time when you need someone who cares, understands, and is there to help, call Macy & Son, serving 9 communities in Yamhill County with funeral needs.
Welcome back to The Root of It right here on KLYC. I am Kyle. Ray's over there reading some more of his books. Today's show, all about books.
The one we're looking at right now, the title of it is How Not to Kill Your Houseplants, the Foolproof Guide to Lush, Healthy Plants.
That's right, and they picked a really great photo because I'm looking at, what kind of plant is that? It's a common house plant that I do not know the name of, and you're going to say lily or something like that.
No, it's a tropical.
Right.
A lot of house plants are tropicals.
Right.
And I almost had it.
Okay. But it's one of those with the big leaves, and it's in a pot, and half of the top half is green, and the bottom half is just brown and dried and
dead.
I think there's something wrong with that plant. But sometimes that's what they do, you know. They've not every leaf lives forever, right?
No. And you know, there is I was going to look and see if it had it actually what it is. I'll think of it.
Well, while you're looking, I'm just going to remind our listening audience that you can also catch us streaming live at KLYC.us. We also post each show up on the YouTube. Mm-hmm. So you do a quick search for KLYC to the root of it on YouTube, and you get us.
YouTube.com.
That's right. And it's you also just go to KLYC.us, and you've got links there also.
Right.
So, and I was actually watching a few of them the other day on my Xbox One, which was pretty interesting to be able to watch myself and you, Ray. You look good, Ray. On the big flat screen television through my video game console. So, yes, the future is here.
Yeah,
it's now.
Yeah, the future is now. But anyway,
but back to these antique things called books.
Yes. And we're, because it is going to be dark and it's going to be winter now for the next 3 full months. As of 35 minutes ago, it's winter.
That's right, and it's a great winter day for us. So, but you've got one book over there on the end that I didn't know if we were going to get to, the four seasons. Yeah, the 4 seasons gardening.
This is excellent. It's kind of like with the succession planting, mm-hmm. but this is called 4 seasons gardening. That's
a month-by-month guide to planning, and caring for your garden. And it's a Better Homes and Garden,
Yes.
4 Seasons Gardening, another magazine that decided that we're in the publishing industry. We might as well put out a coffee table book.
Yeah.
People will buy it.
This is an excellent permanent book to put in your library. Doesn't have a price on it, but you can order it down there at 3rd Street Books.
But you went ahead and you picked it up from the library.
Yeah, City
here in
Library.
here in McMinnville.
They have a great resource. There's it's back in the corner where you don't have to be embarrassed looking at gardening books because nobody knows you're back there.
I think that's the least
But
of one's concerns about gardening.
Yeah, there's probably 2 8-foot wide shelves, 6 feet tall,
Yeah.
of reference books that you can check out and take home.
Well, McMinnville's a gardening community.
Oh yeah,
also.
just look down Main Street.
Right.
And I love this time of the year when the lights are on the plants, and the plants are over in our neighborhood they're all groomed.
Oh, nice.
God bless gardeners.
That's so nice, right?
I don't have to do it. Once I chop mine down and put them to bed and mulch them, I just leave them alone until they come back next spring.
Right. So we actually have a resource on the OSU Extension website, which is the each month calendar, the monthly calendars, and which is kind of, I'm assuming, a little bit similar to this. Which,
Yeah.
So if you go to extension.oregonstate.edu, you can find the monthly calendar of things to do in Yamhill County for December, for January. We're going to go ahead and talk about those probably next week. But each month we go ahead and try and include those the local calendars.
Yes, this we'll start doing that at the first show of the month. The what to do this month in the garden. And give you an idea of what you can, kind of set your gardening plan, pending weather, etc. But this 4 Seasons, it starts out with a really excellent section on gardening fundamentals, tools and hardware, soil, planting, watering, fertilizers and fertilizing, weeds and weeding. Then my favorite chapter, mulching.
That because you are a mulcher.
I'm a mulcher. I'm probably Recology Northwest best customer, most faithful. I know that.
Well, that's why. Yeah, you like to grind things.
Yeah,
maybe it's the industry you were in. You were dealing with a lot of shredded wood at one point.
Yeah, at one point. That was when I first started dating my wife. That was my shot across the bow. What a wonderful provider I was going to be. I was taking a fifth of bribery over to the guy at the heating plant, so he would load my Toyota with bark stuff, hog fuel, ground up
hog fuel.
Yeah,
right.
ground up bark and debris. But to get it done, I ended up taking home like 40 or 45 pickup loads. Yeah, she had 13,000 square feet of lot. And it was all bare dirt, and so to get a good coating at, 3 or 4 inches deep, I thought, well, I'll just take a yard run. Shoot, I might as well have just been throwing water in the pond.
Yeah. Nice.
You never really saw it till after about 2 weeks of
2 years.
carting this stuff home.
Oh my gosh.
I was into it about 15 yards before I figured out this was going to be a long-term relationship just to get the bark done.
We've invested too much in this already.
Yeah, but by the time actually it worked, because by the time I got the yard mulch, she liked me well enough to marry me.
Good. Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
on
long-term
that.
dating process there. Mulching.
So we've got we've been talking about the gardening and the plants and how to take care of them specifically. But I have in my bag over here.
Oh, what have you got in your bag of tricks?
Well, it's another sunset, because I think they came in a pack or something like that. I don't know. I
Really?
Well, I don't know. I just put them in my shopping cart on the Amazon and just hit buy at some point. But this one is let's see. landscaping with stone. So we talk about the plants and what to do with them too, but let's not leave out all of the other things that go into making a garden, not just the plants. So this is a really great visual of the neat little different kinds of patterns you can make with stone. You can't make any patterns with snow. Well, no, that's not true. Men can make quite delicate patterns with snow.
Okay.
But the visual effects that you're going to get specifically with this book, the sunset landscaping with stone, it's the visually striking contrast that you get, because yes, you need plants in your garden, you need all of those kinds of things that grow, but you also need fence posts, you need that gnome elf or whatever they put in the gardens now. You need your bird feeder. You need stone walkways, which can be helpful too. So when you're thinking about you getting that plant book, yes, you might need to know how to diagnose your house plants right now.
True.
But you're going to want to get out into the garden at some point, and you're going to want to go ahead and look at some landscaping. You want to take a look at that?
Yes, I do. Because rock work is an excellent adjunct to any garden. It breaks up the structure, it gives you more visual appeal, and like the cover of this, not only is it visually appealing as it winds through the garden, but it also makes sure you ain't walking on plants or walking in mud.
Right, exactly. And then
it makes access.
You have the ground cover in between the walkways also.
I have some rock in my garden.
Oh, well, it's good.
When we took the little trip last summer, I picked up a rock in each state.
So you have a rock garden.
I now have
50-state rock garden.
I have a rock cairn with a rock from Washington, Idaho, Utah, several from Utah.
So you're the rock garden state.
Yes.
Okay.
So I built this little rock cairn out at the front of my garden, and it has a purpose.
Yes.
It attracts puppies
to
hit the rocks.
So it's like standing in four corners for a dog. in the
state, but it keeps them off all the rest.
Every state.
They don't hit my penstemon because they already went on the rock garden, and it keeps it washed off.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to jump into one final break here, and then we'll close out the show. But you're listening to The Root of It right here on KLYC, 1260 AM.
AM 1260 KLYC. Welcome to the Root of It. Back to the show in just a moment. We want to take a moment to thank Recology Northwest Greenlands and site lead Nick Olheiser. Recology Northwest Greenlands is here to provide the mulch and the compost you need for your garden or even your larger operation. Nick, glad to have you with us on the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So tell us the products that you have to offer the public.
Well, our main golden gem is going to be the compost that we actually produce here on site. We offer yard debris service. It's dropped off. From there, it goes through the entire composting process, and there we're able to resell it to the public or to some of the more commercial type businesses. We also offer a wide range of rock and soil products to the community, as well as bark dust as well.
So I noticed if people want to get rid of their clippings, their leaves, their lawn mowing debris, and so on and so forth, they can bring that in here. Is there a charge for that?
Correct, there is. There is a $6 per yard charge. However, if you already have garbage service and you're located in the city limits of McMinnville, Lafayette, and Sheridan, I believe, it's already incorporated in your bill. So you just come in, let us know your address, and from there we can help you out and get you going from there.
So again, we're right next to the WOW drop-off site. So if you're dropping off your computers, recyclable materials, plastic, TV sets, and so on and so forth, we're just west of the site you do that. And there has been a name change and kind of a redivision of the company. Could you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, a couple of years ago we were bought out by a San Francisco-based company called Recology. From there, we've kind of done a little bit of a restructuring within the company, and we've now fallen under more of an organics division. With that, it's allowed us to kind of hone in and centralize our knowledge on the composting operations of it, and move forward from there and try to provide the best product that we can and at the cheapest cost we can.
There you go. Recology Northwest Greenlands, a sponsor, have to the root of it again. What are your hours?
It's going to be Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and then on Saturday, 9 to 4.
And your phone number again?
503-474 888-878-1671.
Bringing you to the root of it here on AM 1260 KLYC. Thank you to Recology Northwest Greenlands. From the really great beer brewed in the room next door, to the tantalizing menus of pulled pork, Reuben, or try the bangers and mash, local sausage grilled to perfection, served with hand-mashed taters, caramelized onions and peppers. And tomorrow, there may be another surprise on the menu. You've arrived at the Granary District and the Grain Station Brew Works. For lunch, dinner, kick back and watching the game, or enjoying a brew with some friends. You can't beat the unique, historic old barn feeling for taking a break and having a good time. Smell the freshly ground coffee. Enjoy eating meals prepared from the freshest foods. Like Oregon, it's historic, unique, and a fun down-home place to be. Just a stone's throw from downtown at 8th and Alpine in McMinnville. Once you try the Grain Station Brew Works, you'll be back. See you in the barn. Grain Station Brew Works, McMinnville. Golden Valley Restaurant and Brewery is celebrating 20 years of serving you the best times and locally produced food in Yamhill County. Golden Valley Restaurant and Brew Pub at 980 Northeast 4th Street in McMinnville is local, locally brewed refreshment, fresh local produce. Steak specials every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Golden Valley Restaurant and Brew Pub opens daily at 11, open till 9 p.m. Sunday, and most weekdays open till 10 Friday and Saturday. And they say go McMinnville and Newburgh High School.
1260 KLYC, McMinnville, Newburgh, and Salem.
So we'll do our song.
And welcome back to the root of it right here on KLYC. It is definitely the top of the hour, 10:01 right now. Closing things off with the show dedicated to books.
Dedicated to gardening books specifically. Those of you who haven't got that one special Christmas present yet, there's an excellent selection downtown at 3rd Street Books.
Right.
Do not steal them from the library. This is considered very
No.
tacky.
Can you give a holiday gift of a library book? Can you? I mean, you can give it to them and then they can return it, right?
Well, yeah, I suppose you could. It'd be like, a permanent present.
A temporary permanent present. It's the thought that counts at the most important time. It's the
wrap
thought
it,
that
stack
counts.
it, and take it back.
Right.
But anyway, thank you all for listening. This has been To the Root of It with Ray and Kyle.
Right, and all of these books, if you want to, we do have the website up. The show will be reposted on YouTube. You just go ahead, go to youtube.com, search for KLYC, To the Root of It, and you'll see Ray's pleasant beaming face on pretty much all of the video entrance, which is really great to see.
I'm amazed I'm this perky. After getting up at 4 o'clock this morning, I'm
right, exactly.
I was kind of like, I'm still functional. Yeah.
Yeah. So closing out, if you have any questions, go ahead and go down to the Extension office or go to extension.oregonstate.edu/Yamhill. Check out the Extension office here in McMinnville. And if you have any questions for next week, you can go ahead and plan on giving us a call at 503-435-1260. If not, at least take a look online for the show reposts for any questions. We do have great video of Ray holding books aloft.
And now that I figured out how to do that. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So anyway, thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week.